and the little loop thingy is on, and the speed is right, because we're professionals. And here we go.
You cited to me
Yes, sir.
27766 through 67. None of those pages address that particular issue.
Yes, I believe it addresses the powdering.
The powdering, yes, but the issue is, does it soak through, and did he find any evidence?
Oh, what he's saying there is that all he did find is that it didn't soak through, but that what's there is powder. And then in the other references, he's describing
That's my
being
point, though.
powder.
The record here that you cited to me doesn't have both parts of this discussion. All you've got is powder references. That doesn't help me.
And
The issue is, isn't the issue, is there a soak through from one side to the other?
Right, and he says actually
All right.
on the same page where he says powder, on
But
the very
counsel,
next page.
counsel, my point is, I don't have both pieces in front of me. And having to take the time to go through the transcript to find both pieces, didn't have time over the lunch hour, because I recollected that testimony as well.
Right.
But I needed to find it.
I appreciate
And
that.
you didn't give it to me.
I apologize.
All right, so give me another half hour to look at it.
Fine.
Okay. All right, let's continue with Mr. Mraz, please. I'm sorry, where's,
We resolved the objection, didn't we? So I can conclude here.
where were we? We were at, I'm sorry, refresh my recollection as to where we were.
There was an objection when I asked if he believed that Mr. Simpson had declined to prosecute and thus protected
right.
him from theft charges. And that was my last question, so.
All right, Mr. Cochran has now joined us. Yes, sir. All right, as I indicated, we'll take that objection up when we come back from lunch. We're there now. The objection regarding Ms. Clark's question as to whether or not Mr. Simpson's decision to waive any prosecution of Mr. Mraz should be allowed regarding evidence of bias.
And my question, as I framed it in that regard, was carefully framed, that is to refer to this witness's,
In your own opinion?
in my
Your own humble
article,
opinion?
as far as I'm concerned, was narrowly directed towards the witness's belief as to whether or not Mr. Simpson had declined to prosecute, and that goes to bias. That's what artful is in the eye of the beholder, but that was the intent.
I won't comment on the artful aspect of it, but just the fact that...
No?
Okay. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes,
The
please.
substance, Your Honor, just quickly, I think that the prejudicial effect far outweighs any alleged probative value, and if I might just briefly indicate to the court my understanding of what transpired. First of all, nobody from LAPD ever has talked, for obvious reasons.
This is why I think the witness should be excluded.
He's out. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr. Mraz, would you step out, please? Thank you. Mr. Cochran.
Yes, Your Honor. As I understand it, nobody from LAPD has talked with Mr. Simpson, obviously, about any desires he may or may not have vis-a-vis any prosecution of some misdemeanor in this matter. In that regard, I did, in fact, receive several phone calls from Detective Kelly Muldorfer asking me about whether or not we had any interest in this. And as I recall, my indication was, look, we're involved in it was after this matter started trial. I said, we're involved in a rather serious matter. I have no interest in talking about that or pursuing that, and neither does my client at this point have any interest in being concerned about that. He doesn't need to be occupied by this. And
Almost exactly what you said.
good, well, I'm always very credible. So he's given me some statement about this, and let me read what the Muldorfer says I said, see if she's credible. Let's see.
Well, she's on your witness list.
May I have one more?
Right, I don't see.
Yes, she knows that Dr. said Simpson is not a cooperative, was pleading for his life in court right now. So the facts and the essence of what she says is basically correct. I didn't have time really to be bothered with this, Your Honor, and I was talking to her in the evenings after court. But the point was, nobody ever talked to Mr. Simpson. I did, in fact, mention to him and said, look, I don't want to be bothered with that. My interest is in
But
fighting my case.
Isn't the issue, though, whether or not Mr. Mraz is aware of the fact that your client has no interest in pursuing a criminal prosecution of him for the taking of items from his car? And isn't that the issue?
Perhaps, but I'm not sure whether he's aware of that or not. I haven't discussed that with him. But as I said, I talked to Muldorfer, and that's pretty much it.
But it's Mr. Mraz's understanding, not your client's understanding, that's at issue here.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. But I think that, again, it's so tenuous, Your Honor, and I don't know what the response is going to be. Perhaps we could have an offer, because these questions, there's a question of what's artfully phrased. Perhaps we can have some offer that's going to be regarding this. I think it wastes a lot more time.
All right, I agree that whether or not somebody is going to prosecute somebody or request prosecution for somebody clearly goes to the issue of bias. How do you propose to frame the question?
I thought that I phrased it in that manner. Let me find out. I intended to ask him whether he believed that Mr. Simpson declined to prosecute.
All right, then I'd ask you to rephrase that, since it's not Mr. Simpson who's declined.
Is that, I'm sorry?
I'd ask you to rephrase that, since it's not actually Mr. Simpson who's declined.
I think. All right. Would you prefer that I phrase it as Mr. Cochran declined to prosecute? Have I understood the word correctly? Would you like me to phrase it as Mr. Cochran declined?
Well, I'd rather not
Well-
phrase it at all.
I understand. No, but I think clearly it goes to the issue of bias. The issue is whether or not Mr. Mraz is aware that the defendant has expressed no interest in pursuing criminal prosecution of it.
Right. And not whether even that's true, not whether he believes that.
That's the issue.
Right.
So you can ask him, are you aware, or do you believe, or is it your understanding that the defendant has expressed no desire to prosecute?
As opposed to declined to prosecute?
The problem with that mistakes, Your Honor, the conversation with me, they never talked with Mr.
All
Simpson
right,
at all.
that his attorney has expressed no interest in pursuing a criminal prosecution.
As opposed to declined to prosecute?
It's talking about the attorney.
The attorney,
As
that
opposed
Mr.
to Mr.
Cochran,
Simpson, they never talked to Mr. Simpson.
representing this, that Mr. Cochran has expressed no interest in pursuing the prosecution. All right. And then you're going to wind this up? Okay. That's the last question?
Can I have a moment?
I'm sorry, who are the two next witnesses?
I believe it will be Richard Walsh and I think Willie Ford. If we're leaving at 4, I would suspect that we'll have one other witness too. And then Mulder, or we can get Del St. John. We'll have another witness again.
Okay,
Mr. Ford and Detective Moldorf are in the building.
okay.
I couldn't even say.
They're in the building. Mr. Ford and Ms. Moldorf are on 18.
That's
All right.
some handkerchief in his
Say
pocket.
the jurors, please.
There was one I meant to mark with Mr. Moran, so I'll be very brief. But
I'm not
You're
sure
I am.
what day it is.
May I also ask you,
I know it's
to address the court on the issue of perhaps holding a 402 with testimony concerning
July 19th. But I don't know if it's like day 100 or day 20. I know it's not day 20. We're still in July.
Mr. Sims, Mr. Madison, and Mr. Ford's
I'm scrolling down. It takes forever.
the opportunity to address the court on their operations and such matter we took up.
But the issue is really, has an appropriate offer been made, and does the transcript support the
We'll be on
relevance of the
July
issue? That's really what I
19th
need to
all
say.
day today.
But that doesn't go to the substantial similarity issue with the experiments and all the rest of it.
I thought we discussed that already, Counsel. Let's have the jurors, please.
Discussed the fact that, discussed the existence of a piece of paper in which you wrote down that you admitted to taking paper out of the defendant's car, and that you also indicated in that statement that you put them back in the car. And you indicated you had no memory of writing such a document or signing it, correct?
Correct.
I have here a document that has been given to counsel some time ago. I'd ask that this document be marked People's Next in Order 533, is it?
533.
Let me show you first, Mr. Mraz, and ask you if you recognize the signature and the handwriting on this document.
I remember, yes.
Is that your handwriting, sir?
Yes, it
Is that
is.
your signature, sir?
Yes.
You recognize the date of June the 17th, 1994 on this document?
Yes, I do.
And this document was signed by you after you had been shown the signed statements of other employees who stated they saw you showing them the receipts. Isn't that correct?
No, it's not true.
It's not true that you wrote this out after you were shown the signed statements of other employees who said they saw you with the receipts you stole from Mr. Simpson's Bronco,
Sustained.
took
Phrase it.
from Mr. Simpson's Bronco without his permission.
It's not true.
What is your testimony as to when you signed this document, sir?
I signed those documents. They asked me to sign a document on that recall. They asked me to sign it to state the fact that I had put the papers back in there. And that's what they wanted from me. It was after they showed me those. I signed those willingly that I had put those papers back.
And it was before you were shown the signed statements of the other employees?
It was, it was after the fact that they had talked to me and discussed everything with me. They wanted me to write that.
And was it after the fact that they confronted you with the fact that other employees had reported seeing you with the receipts you took from the defendant's Bronco without his permission?
I signed that when everything was all done and they had talked to me. I had signed those, and they come up to me. And the reason I signed those papers was because of the fact I had to clear myself up. And that's why I signed that.
And Mr. Mraz, you signed this after you went to the Bronco, looked in the side pocket, and saw that there were no receipts there, correct?
That's correct.
In fact, after everyone saw the receipts that you claimed to have put back were not there, correct?
Sustained. Sustained.
Mr. Vertel and Mr. Jones were with you, isn't that right?
That's correct.
And they also, in your company, looked at the side door pocket where you were looking and pointing to them, correct?
It's not correct. There was two of us, not three.
Who was with you?
Bob Jones and myself.
And you pointed to Bob Jones, the area of the side pocket where you claimed to have put those receipts, correct?
Correct.
And they were not there, correct?
Correct.
And it was after that point that they confronted you with the statements of other employees at Vertel's who said they saw you with the receipts, correct?
Overruled.
That's not correct.
I
So
think
you,
we've established that point now.
okay, then after you were confronted with these statements of other employees, and after you went to the door of the Bronco and saw that the receipts you claimed to have put back were not there, you signed this statement. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, this is 533 on the Elmo.
Yes, Your Honor. And it says, I, John J. Mraz, took some paper out of O.J.'s car and put them back in the car on June 17th, 1994, correct?
Correct.
Sir, is it your understanding that Mr. Cochran, as of April of this year, has expressed no interest in pursuing a prosecution against you for theft?
As far as I know, nobody has.
And is it your belief that Mr. Cochran has declined to pursue any prosecution of you for theft?
Overruled.
I was told that nobody was going to file charges.
And were you also told that Mr. Cochran expressly declined to pursue the prosecution of you for theft?
Overruled.
Again, I was told that they weren't going to file charges on me.
And when you say they, you mean the defense, Mr.
Yes.
Cochran, correct?
Overruled. Yes, that is answer stricken. Phrase the question.
When you say file charges, sir, do you mean they declined to pursue a prosecution of you for theft from the defendant's Bronco? Is that your understanding?
Overruled.
From the way I was told is that they weren't going to file charges on me, is what I was told.
And when you say they, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to Mr. Cochran.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mraz, a few questions if I might. Let's put that back up for just a second, Mr. Fairlaw, please.
This is 533.
533, Your Honor, thank you very much. With regard to Exhibit 533, is that what you told this jury here today, that you took these papers out of the car and put them back in that car?
Is correct.
Is that what you've been telling and saying all along to everybody who's listening in this case?
To everybody, yes.
And is that the truth?
That's the truth.
When you took the papers from the car, you kept them that day and you put them back in that car that same day, is that right?
This is true.
And so you didn't permanently deprive the owner of those particular papers, is that correct?
Overruled.
That's true.
You put them back, right?
Put them back, assuming that they were still there.
All right, and then you didn't find them later, is that
Didn't
right?
find them later.
Now, you remember Ms. Clark was asking you some questions from a transcript, and you said that she was confused in her answer. Do you recall that? She read a transcript of a conversation with Mr. Hodgman. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I want to read what she read, and I want to read where she stopped, all right? Am I
Okay.
Your Honor? Counsel knows where this
Page.
is. This is page 5389, Your Honor, beginning at line 7. I want to read it all the way through for cleared up. All right. Question.
Sustained. Jury to disregard.
Question. Proceed. Question. And once again, on that date, you were asked by Mr. Vertel this time if you'd removed any items from the Ford Bronco. Is that correct? Answer, that's correct. Question. And at first, you denied taking anything out of the Ford Bronco. Isn't that right? Answer, that is not true. That's the same thing you told us here. Isn't that correct?
That's true.
All right. Question. At first, you denied taking anything from the Ford Bronco. Did you not? Answer, at first, yes. Question. So at first, you lied again, this time to Mr. Vertel and to Mr. Jones. Isn't that correct? Answer. I don't quite follow you on that statement, what you were saying. You were saying two things. I denied it to Bob the day that I was in there. I did not deny it to Vertel. Did you so testify?
That's my statement, yes.
And that's what you told this jury also, isn't it?
This is true.
Question. Isn't it a fact, Mr. Mraz, that you only admitted taking those items after you were shown some written statements from other employees at Vertel's? Answer, that's not true. Did you so testify?
True, that's true.
And that's the same thing you told this jury here, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's make sure that's... Now, I want to ask you a few other questions, if I might, Mr. Mraz. With regard to this Bronco vehicle that you towed there, when you arrived at Vertel's on June 15, sometime after 11 o'clock in the morning of that date, did you ever see any other Vertel employees in and around the Bronco vehicle after you arrived there?
Sustained. Phrase it.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Compound.
When you got to Vertel's, did you see any other Vertel employees there?
When I pulled into the yard, they were waiting for me out there in the yard.
All right, and how many were waiting for you?
10 employees.
All right. Now, with regard to these 10 employees, did you see whether or not any of them ever looked inside that Bronco?
Overruled.
Well, the door was open. The driver's side of the door was open, so they all had access to see what was in the Bronco.
All right.
Overruled.
And did you ever observe whether or not any of them looked inside the Bronco?
There's so much commotion going on because everybody was so enthused of looking at the Bronco.
All right. And why were they enthused of looking at the Bronco?
Being because it was O.J. Simpson's car and the way the media press had put it out to be like.
And what did the media press put it out to be?
Said it had all kinds of blood inside the car, and they were all looking for blood.
And did you see any blood on that occasion?
Overruled.
I didn't see any blood at all.
All right. Now, I'm going to show you this photograph, which counsel showed you, 529 on the Elmo, and I'll ask you specifically regarding this photograph. Remove that in. Now, Mr. Clark asked you some questions about this particular photograph, Exhibit 529. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And looking at that photograph, you described that you saw some spots on the inside of that door of that vehicle, right?
Yes.
Now, on the date when you were inside that vehicle on June 15th, on these 3 occasions, did you ever see those spots that are depicted in 523 there inside that vehicle?
Overruled.
Did you ever see those spots in that vehicle at that time?
No, I did not.
You have, now, Mr. Clark intimated you have some problems with your sight. Do you have any problems seeing those spots there?
No. No, I don't.
Right, and she also indicated you were colorblind. Are you colorblind?
No, I don't think so.
And when you referred to that marker as being pink, did that appear pink to you?
The,
Arrow?
the arrow?
I think she used marker here.
Arrow.
The arrow
Yes.
appear pink to you?
Yes.
And you could tell the difference between pink and green, could you not?
Yes, the round things were green.
And the arrow that you see up on the screen now?
It was pink.
All right. Now I want to ask you specifically, you were asking some other questions about some marks on the door. I want to place on the Elmo, Your Honor, 528. You can move that back. Can you see that?
Yes.
Kind of see like some dark powder in and around the driver's door of the Bronco?
Yes.
When you picked that Bronco up from the print shed on June 15th, 1994, somewhere around 11 o'clock or thereabouts on that date, do you recall seeing the door of the Bronco in that condition where you saw any black print powder or brown or dark gray print powder on the vehicle?
No, I didn't.
Now, you said you'd worked for Vertel's for some 25 years?
That's correct.
And have you seen print powder on cars before?
A lot of times.
And you know what print powder looks like?
Yes.
Now, the representation was this picture was taken, I think she said, on June 14th. So You didn't see the car on 14th, did you?
No, I didn't see it on the 14th.
You saw it on the 15th.
That's correct.
All right. Did the side door of that car appear that way on the 15th when you picked it up, as you recall? Your honest opinion.
My honest opinion, that I can recall, I did not see that.
Now, she asked you some questions also about dome lights and things. Do you recall any looking or seeing any dome lights in that car at all?
I wasn't looking for.
Do you recall when you opened the Bronco whether or not there are lights down near the running board or the floorboard of the car? Do you recall that?
I can't really recall if the light was on or if the light was off, or if there was a light bulb. I can't honestly say that there was.
I'm sorry.
That
That's
there
something you
was.
weren't paying attention to?
I wasn't paying attention to it.
And you did not drive that vehicle, did you?
No keys.
All right, now, she also asked you a question about looking at the console. On any of the 3 occasions that you stepped inside that particular vehicle, did you ever look at the console over to the right of the driver's compartment and look at the console?
Briefly, just
All right.
a glance.
And when you glanced over to the right of the console, did you ever see any blood at that time?
I'd have seen the blood.
Did you see any blood?
No, I didn't.
And Mr. Mraz, you were actually looking for blood, isn't that correct?
This is correct.
And you knew what blood looked like before June 15th of 1994, isn't that correct?
Yes,
You also pointed out to us that the floor mat was missing, isn't that correct?
that's correct.
Is there any doubt in your mind at all that when you looked inside that vehicle on those 3 occasions, that you did not see any blood inside that vehicle?
I didn't see any blood. I'd have known.
Now, you were asked some questions about your lawyers. You understand you have an absolute constitutional right in this country still to have lawyers?
This is true.
Now, Ms. Clark asked you some questions about these fine lawyers who are here. Who referred these lawyers or these lawyers to you? Tell the jury.
My fiance worked with another woman at her place, and she got them through her, and that's how I got them.
Did anybody from the defense, Mr. Shapiro, myself, Mr. Scheck, Mr. Neufeld, Mr. Blazer, Mr. Douglas, did any of us ever at any time refer you to a lawyer?
No, not at no time.
All right, these lawyers came through your fiance, is that correct?
That's correct.
And why did you get lawyers at that time?
I was being hammered very hard by the press because of I towing the Bronco, and they made me look out to be like a monster, that I ransacked the car and I did this. I never did it.
So you got a lawyer? Or lawyers?
Yes, to protect myself.
Is that what lawyers are supposed to do?
That's what lawyers are supposed to do.
Did you ransack the inside of the Bronco?
No.
You took 2 vouchers, is that correct?
2 vouchers.
And you returned those vouchers?
I returned those vouchers back.
When was the last time you saw those vouchers?
Last time I seen him was the 15th of June at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon when I put him back in there. I've never seen him since.
You know who took them?
No, I don't. I wish I did.
You didn't take them.
No.
You tried to profit from your knowledge of this case by selling your story to programs like Hard Copy or Current Affair?
No, I haven't.
You've not done that?
No, I haven't.
You're not writing a book, are you?
No.
You're maintaining a lawsuit to try to get your job back or to get some compensation?
Yes, this is true. It's true.
Have you told this jury the truth about what happened on June 15th of 1994?
Yes, I have.
Do you have any axe to grind in this case one way or the other?
No.
You think testifying in this case is going to help you get your job back with Vertels? You don't think that's easy?
I doubt that very much.
And you are here pursuant to a search warrant. Strike that. You're here pursuant to a subpoena to testify, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
We never issued a search warrant for you, do we? We issued a subpoena for you, is that right?
That's right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm done.
Thank you, Counsel.
People's 528, Your Honor. When I showed you this photograph on cross-examination just a short time ago, Mr. Mraz, you conceded that that looked like print dust on the door, correct?
From where I am, yes.
Well,
Looking at the picture, yes.
let's zoom in. Does that help you, sir?
It helped me before.
And does it help you now?
I-
Does that look like print?
Overruled.
Does that look like print dust to you?
yes, it does.
And when I cross-examined you earlier this morning, sir, you conceded that this was the print shack where you recovered the Bronco from on June the 15th, correct?
Well, it very well could be the print shed.
Or would you like to change that testimony now, sir?
No, I
To
wouldn't.
indicate you're unsure?
It is. Rephrase the question.
When you answered the question earlier this morning, you told us that that was the print shack from which you recovered the Bronco on June the 15th, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to change that testimony now, sir?
I don't want to change anything.
That is the print shack from which you recovered the Bronco then on June the 15th, isn't it, sir?
I'm saying now it looks like it.
You're saying now it looks like it. You're unwilling now to say that it is.
Could well be the print shed.
So, Mr. Mraz, are you going to change your testimony from this morning and say could well be? Or are you going to stick with the testimony you gave us this morning and say it is?
It is. Rephrase the question.
Does that look like the print shack, sir, from which you recovered the Bronco on June the 15th?
It could well be the print shed.
How many times have you been in that print shack over the years that you've worked at Vertel's?
Several times.
Several?
Yes.
You've been there 20 years?
Yes.
How many times per week did you go to that print shack?
It would vary. Sometimes I wouldn't go.
Give us
Sometimes
an
I would.
average.
An average? Could well be 4 or 5 times a year.
4 or 5 times a year you
Yes.
go to the print shack?
Yes.
You are an official police garage?
Sustained.
You're an official police garage, are you not, Vertel's?
At least when I was there, yes.
Yes. And official police garages recover cars and vehicles from that print shack on a fairly regular basis, don't they, sir?
Not true.
You would only go there 4 or 5 times a year?
Myself.
Yourself. All right, let's assume that's true. 4 or 5 times a year for 20 years.
Sustained. It is.
Also beyond the scope of,
It is not. It's not.
5 times a year for 20 years. Correct? So you've been to that print shack at least 100 times, isn't that right?
Overruled.
there 20 years ago.
Overruled.
Well, 20 years ago,
This is the problem with speaking objections, Your Honor.
It is. Proceed.
Has Mr. Coffey now informed you how you should answer the question, sir?
Sustained.
Would it be fair to say that you've been in that print shack about 100 times, Mr. Mraz?
I couldn't give you a count. I'm just giving you a number per year.
And would it be fair to say that all told, you've been in that print shack over 100 times?
First of all, I don't know when it existed there.
Can you answer the question?
Repeat it again, please.
During the time you've been employed at Vertel's, would it be fair to say that over the entire time you've been employed there, you've been in that print shack at least 100 times?
For me to say over 100 times, I can't honestly say that because I really don't know.
How about 80, Mr. Mraz?
I can't give you a number because I really don't know. And I'm being honest with you.
Was June the 15th the last time you were in the print shack?
That was the last time, yes.
It was certainly not the first.
That wasn't the first, no.
And that looks like the print shack that's in this photograph, doesn't it, sir?
It could well be, yes.
And the dust and the dirt that you saw on the driver's side door looks like print dust, doesn't it, sir?
It looks like it, yes.
And when you were confronted with this photograph during cross-examination this morning, you admitted that you were wrong when you testified earlier that you did not see print dust on the door of the Bronco.
Ms. Stacy, evidence, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Do you recall that?
I recall that, yes.
Do you wish to change that too now,
I
sir?
wish not to change anything.
Do you admit now that still that you were wrong about not seeing print dust on the door of the Bronco?
Sustained. Let's move on.
Okay, one moment, Your Honor. Do you know someone by the name of Mark Lasky?
Excuse me,
You know someone by the name of Mark Lasky?
not Lasky, no.
He's a limousine driver, Mr. Mraz.
I don't know a limousine driver.
You don't know any limousine drivers?
No.
It is.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Now, with regard to this photograph that the counsel is asking you about, that photograph was allegedly taken on the 14th of June. You didn't see that white Bronco on the 14th, is that correct? You didn't see the white Bronco on June 14th, 1994, did you?
No, I didn't see it on the 14th.
You
no.
saw it on the 15th, is that correct?
That's correct.
All you can tell Ms. Clark and this jury is how it appeared to you on June 15th, is that correct?
That's correct.
And with regard to this garage being an OPG, are there other drivers, Vertil's have other drivers who also came to the print shed, not shack?
Through the years, yes.
All right. And with regard to that, you weren't the only one who went there, is that correct?
This is true.
All right, I have nothing further.
Ms. Clark? All right, Mr. Mraz, thank you very much, sir. You're excused. Next witness.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Do you have your next witness en route? What was Mr. Walsh's first name? Mr. Carkin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Walsh's first name?
Richard Walsh, Your Honor.
Richard.
Thank you.
All right. We are set to loop. I am going to take my daughter to work now, and I shall be right back. Oh, we got a sidebar. There we go. I'll be right back, guys. Let's see if there's another sidebar while I'm gone. I don't hear anything either, guys. That's not us. All right, we are at exactly 1 hour. Let's just go ahead a few minutes and see if there's sound.
Take into account Mr.
Yeah, there is.
O.J. Simpson's physical
If you just wait a few seconds, there will be sound because we
This
just
particular
checked.
exercise
There we
video.
go.
Yes, for several months prior to that.
Be right
And
back.
you were doing this for what entity of what company?
Playboy was the producers and the backers.
All right, and they asked you to help with this, is that correct?
Correct. They saw me on July 4th of 1993. I had a cable exercise TV show, and they happened to see me and had me in and talked about the idea and the concept, and they hired me. Then we actually made the contract in early 1994.
All right, and is that your occupation as a fitness expert?
Not a fitness expert.
And
I'm a
you are?
fitness instructor. In my
Fitness
opinion, an expert is somebody who is an MD or a PhD in the exercise field. And I happen to just be a fitness instructor. I've been doing that for 16 years. I've done a number of video projects, TV shows, and so forth. But on the video projects and TV shows that I'm involved with, we always make sure we hire an expert who is either an MD or PhD, and he critiques every move I do and every word I say, and those are the experts.
All right. Now, so that when you met with O.J. Simpson regarding this particular project, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you become aware in meeting with Mr. Simpson of any physical limitations that he had?
Quite a few.
What
Quite a
did you
few.
become aware of?
Well,
Foundation.
In the course of your meeting with Mr. O.J. Simpson, did you have occasion to talk with him about any physical limitations that he had? He answered that yes or no?
yes.
And did you have occasion, in writing this video, did you have to write it in such a way that there were things to be performed that he could do in that video?
Sustained. Phrase question.
So, in writing the video, did you have to take into account Mr. O.J. Simpson's physical limitations, if any?
Did I have to, or
Yes.
did I?
Did you?
Yes, I did.
And why did you do that?
Well, when we began, first time I met him, we discussed his situation, his injuries.
It is the same. Ask another question.
Certainly. When you first met him, did you have occasion to learn about some injuries that he had?
Yes.
Well, he can answer that yes or no.
Whole rule.
Okay. So you learned about some injuries that he had, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And were these injuries that he had, were they restricted to any particular part of his body? Can you answer that yes or no?
Yes.
And can you describe for the jury what you observed regarding Mr. Simpson's body and or injuries?
Not an expert.
Whole rule.
You may answer.
Excuse me. Well, he was sitting when I met him, and then he was a little concerned about the type of.
Sustained. It is.
You describe for us the injuries that you became aware of.
Whole rule. You can answer the question. What kind of injuries did you become aware of?
His knee, his hand, shoulder. Can I keep going?
Yes?
Yes.
He talked about sore lower back.
Wait, wait.
Can I keep
What did you personally become aware of through your own observations?
Well, initially, he was sitting. And so when,
Well, I assume this relationship went on through making the video.
well, I thought we were talking about the first time.
No.
Okay.
No, you can kind of save some time and tell us all the things you became aware of.
Okay, I became aware eventually of his knee, his back, his lower back in particular, his shoulder. He also spoke of some ankle problems.
Sustained, answer stricken,
Which portion, the last part?
ankle.
Okay,
But it's in the other record from Dr. Heisen.
sure, sure. At any point, did you ever notice any other parts that you actually noticed of his body?
When he stuck out his hand to shake hands.
What did you notice about that?
His hand was looked like it was half closed.
You find that unusual?
I thought it was unusual.
All right, now, after you had this initial contact over a period of time with Mr. Simpson, did you have any doubt as to whether or not he was the right candidate for this video?
Oh, well.
Was there any question in your mind about whether O.J. Simpson was the candidate for this, the proper candidate?
Oh, well.
Yes, I did.
And what were your doubts, sir, if any?
I thought he was too physically limited to be the co-host with me,
And why did you think that?
because I knew the type of tape that I was making needed, not somebody real physically fit, but it needed someone who had the ability to at least be mobile laterally, forward and back, using upper body muscle groups and so forth.
Did you notice anything about Mr. Simpson's ability to move laterally or from side to side?
It was pretty limited.
Now, at some point, despite your reservations about Mr. Simpson's abilities here, did you proceed with the project with him?
Yes, we did.
And this particular video that we've seen or seen parts of, that was shot during the month of May of 1994?
Correct. The actual shooting day, most of the video that you've seen has been on May 27th May 25th, 1994. We tried to shoot the exercise segment in one day.
All right, and was any particular reason why you tried to shoot the exercise segment in one day?
Yes.
And why was that?
Oh, well. You can answer.
We tried to shoot in one day because through the course of preparing for the video, we didn't know if he would make it, and two, if he did make it, would he be available to work the next day? Can I continue on about rehearsals? No.
Next
All right.
question.
So you had this concern, so you tried to do it all in one day?
Yes.
All right. Did you want to prescribe any kind of rehearsals so that you have a track practice day one day and then do it the next day?
I had rehearsal schedules for the group behind me. There were 4 people behind OJ and I, and then rehearsal schedules, OJ and I got together once or twice.
Okay. Now, did OJ ever come dressed and participate in any rehearsals regarding this video?
No.
And did you ascertain why not?
Yes.
Why?
Sustain.
Well, let me ask it this way. Did you ever request Mr. Simpson to come for a dress rehearsal, as it were?
Did I just...
Ask him to do it?
No, I just assumed that he would show up
All right.
ready to exercise.
And did he show up?
He showed up.
All right. When he showed up, how was he dressed?
Street clothes.
Did you have a conversation with him
Yes,
as to
I
why
did.
he was in street clothes?
Yes, I did.
You did? And did the subject matter of that concern his physical limitations, if any?
Sustain.
All right. Describe for this jury what you saw when you saw O.J. show up for the dress rehearsal.
What I saw or
Yes,
what I
what
said?
you saw and what you observed.
I saw him dressed in street clothes.
All right. And what'd you say?
I asked,
Sustain.
So did you have a conversation with O.J. Simpson at that point?
yes.
And in relation to May 25th, when was this dress rehearsal?
I may be wrong, but I think it was May 24th, the day before.
All right. And at any rate, did Mr. Simpson participate in the dress rehearsal on May 24th or whatever day it was?
Not really.
All right.
He
And what did he do?
he
if anything?
watched a little bit. He tried on the clothes that he was going to wear the next day. He kind of moved a little bit, but that was about it. I mean, almost the point of not really,
All right.
hardly at all.
Now, on May 25th or thereabouts, did you then come back and assemble the group to shoot the particular video?
That was the first day of shooting.
All right. And with regard to that, do you do something unusual before you start a workout and before you're going to be on camera? Do you do something unusual for yourself?
You're letting out all my secrets here. Yes, I do.
Well, if you can tell us, and I guess everybody will know soon, what do you do before you start?
Objection, Your Honor. It's irrelevant.
It's relevant. I'll look it up.
You can answer the question.
Usually when I'm about to do a video project or TV project, and the outfit usually is a tank top or a leotard of some type. If you've ever been on a TV set or a video set or movie set, there's these big lights and there's these reflector boards. And holding these reflector boards and lights down are big sandbags. And I always walk over the sandbag right before about to shoot. And I grab a couple of them and I start lifting like this. And it gives you kind of a false size of your arms. It makes the arms a little bit bigger, makes the veins come out. So when we go on the set and begin filming, you look a little bit, as the word would be, pumped up.
All right. So when you were making a motion with your hands, as though you were doing curls with these bags?
All right, I was doing curls with the sandbags.
All right. And while you were doing curls on this particular date of May 25th, did O.J. Simpson come over to where you were?
Yes, he did.
And describe what you observed at that point.
Well, he first asked what I was doing, and I told him, this is a secret. You don't tell anybody this. This is my own secret. And so he grabbed a couple of the bags, and I told him about how it makes the arms look bigger. And he was standing with no back support. And I was doing curls, and, I'm not a strong man, but the bags probably weighed anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds. And I was doing a good amount of repetitions, and he's put it in his hand, and much to my surprise, he couldn't even lift it. He couldn't do one bicep curl.
And how many curls were you doing with these? You talked about reps. Reps stand for repetitions.
Repetitions,
is that right?
correct.
And how many of the?
Mr. Wallace, if you would you allow Mr. Cochran to finish asking you the question before you start to answer? The reason is the court reporter tries to take down the testimony. It can only take one person at a time. All right, so take a breath. Let him finish answering the question. That way we don't have to do too many reps.
And I'm sure she can see from the videotape that I am
Yes.
a man of many words.
Yes, proceed.
With regard to these reps, how many of these reps did you do, sir?
Probably about 20.
And how many did you see O.J. Simpson do, if any?
I didn't see him do any. He got about halfway up, and then he needed a little assistance. So.
All right. Now, in the course of your preparing or shooting the video that day, did you ever have occasion to either touch or bump into Mr. Simpson at all?
There was one situation, it was at a break, whether they're relighting or redoing cameras or whatever it was, and they asked us to stay on the floor, stay in our spots, because as you saw the videotape, each person has a spot. And
Yeah, he's responding. Seems to me. You can please answer.
Proceed.
You may proceed, sir.
okay, so everybody has a spot, and so you kind of stay right there, and all of a sudden I looked at OJ, and he was kind of coming at me like he was carrying a football, kind of like this, but just kind of moving slow. And as he got near me, I just kind of took my elbow like a football player would and kind of hit him, but very, very lightly.
And when you struck his body at that point,
Like his elbow or shoulder or arm or something like that.
did you see his reaction when that happened?
He started literally flying. I mean, not flying in the air, but he started jumping around and hobbling, and he started screaming, my knee.
Overruled. Proceed.
So he started,
Wait. Next question. This is not a narrative. This is question and answer. Ask the next question.
All right. At that point, this happened during a break on the set that day. Is that correct?
not necessarily a break, just in between shots, in between takes.
All right. And did he, as you observed, Mr. Simpson, do you seem to be kidding at that point with you?
I think he was kidding.
Overruled.
Seem to be kidding with you at that point?
He was kidding up to that point, and then as I gave him a little elbow bump, he was no longer kidding. This is,
All right. Now, with regard to this video, we saw some video here in court over the course of the last couple of days. And were there times between the video when there were breaks while you reset up and started over various things?
yes.
And do you recall what, if anything, Mr. Simpson would do during these breaks, during the times when the camera wasn't on? Do you recall, was there a chair for him or anything of that nature?
Towards the end, there was a chair for him.
Okay, describe that for the court and jury, what you observed.
Well, towards the end, when the chair came out, it was after one situation.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that situation. Tell us about the chair.
Okay, when the chair came out, we kind of were on a set. Might have been lifted, I don't know, 12, 14 inches off the ground. It was a hardwood floor, so it gives you the feeling of being inside a gym or inside a fitness studio. And when we would take a break toward the end of the day, because it was somewhere around a 12 or 14, maybe even 15-hour day of doing this, they would put a chair right up there so he wouldn't even have to walk down, and they'd slap some ice bags on him.
And where would ice bags?
Ice bags.
And where would these ice bags be placed?
Definitely the knee. I think I even saw one from time to time on the shoulder.
You recall seeing that?
Yes, definitely the knee, and I think they had one that they were even rubbing on his shoulder, his arm or something.
And this would be between the shots.
This would be, right, as we would do things, a run-through. And as you saw in the video, anytime it came to push-ups, we did 3 rounds. And so when you got to push-ups, that was the end of round 1. And you do round 1 2 or 3 or 4 times, and when you work with me, you do it as many times as you possibly can, because we shoot with 3 cameras, and I think might even use the 4th camera in some shots. And the more footage you have, it makes editing a little more difficult, but it gives you an opportunity to have better production, a better quality video in case you missed a shot.
And that's when you get down to the finished product. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, during the course of this day that you've described, where you're trying to shoot all in one day, was there a period of time when you could not do anything for an hour or 2 period of time?
We had one problem. I'd rather not get into that, the actual nature of the problem. But there was a situation where we had to take about a 2-hour break.
All right. And during that 2-hour break, was there a problem with Mr. Simpson?
Yeah, he had mentioned,
Sustained.
Well, with regard to Mr. Simpson's physical abilities, did you notice any difference in him after a 2-hour cool-down period of time? You tell us about that. You can answer that.
he had mentioned that if,
Sustained.
All right, you have to tell us what you observed.
okay, I observed as we began, he could hardly function.
Now, you're talking about after the 2-hour period of time?
Correct.
All right. Describe for us the difference between when you stopped and when you started some 2 hours later. Your own words.
I know what it was, but do you want me just to say what it was? Or?
Just tell us what it was.
Okay.
Rephrase the question, counsel.
All right, would you describe for us in your own words what you observed with Mr. Simpson after he started up after this 2 hours?
In the beginning, prior to the 2 hours, he was a little bit more mobile. You know, not near as mobile as, like a lot of the people who are in the video. But after the 2 hour break, he was very, very tight.
And how did this tightness manifest itself, if you can describe that for us?
Overruled.
Sometimes when muscles are warm and loose when you're exercising and you sit for a while, like sometimes even if you get off an airplane or out of your car after a long ride and you get out, you're very stiff and you're very tight. And that was what I observed.
All right, now, you didn't see Mr. Simpson the day after he shot this video, did you, the day after, the 26th of May?
Yes, I did.
Did you see him? Did you notice anything about how you appeared on that date?
I didn't spend a lot of time speaking with him that day.
All right. Now, at the end of the day, at the end of the time you finished this particular shoot, can you describe for us again your observations of him and his appearance at that time and how he appeared to you?
Relieved. I mean, he's exhausted and relieved. I think everybody was pretty tired at the end of that day.
All right, now, with regard to this video, you, of course, have seen the finished product that is merchandise, is that correct?
I have seen the finished product.
Okay.
Right.
And there were also some rough cuts or some so-called
Outtakes.
outtakes, is that correct? And in that connection, I'd like you, prior to your coming to the stand today, I ask you to show us or to look at a particular portion of the video, which I don't think we've seen thus far. I don't want to spend much time for the jury, but is there a particular portion where you're doing some stretching exercises?
Correct.
And does this stretching exercises show Mr. Simpson attempting to stretch?
Correct.
And I'm going to ask now, Your Honor, I don't know if this is in Mark. This is part of the Exhibit 124, I believe, Your Honor. 124?
As will I.
It's Exhibit number 521.
Proceed.
And is this queued up, Mr. Harris? All right, I'm going to ask you and the jury to take a look at a particular portion of Exhibit 521, which is one of the people's exhibits, and I'm going to ask you some questions about it.
No, it's with the sound.
Just like it was, Mr. Colby, please.
With the sound. Proceed.
Yeah, this is how I kind of do. Good, let's hold it right here. Now, we're just going to take the shoulder up in the air. We're just doing some stretching for lower back and lats and warm-up.
Stretch, just put it in holding it. Let's bring it back center. We're just going to open up this inner thigh area.
All right,
So
wait a
warm up, we want to warm up the
15,
entire
15.
joint in all planes and directions. Let's bring it back center. We're going to take the other shoulder up in the air.
I think you'd be amazed if you just did this every morning, how much better you'll feel.
I agree. Let's go back center and open up the other inner thigh. You don't have to be low here. Just bring this knee forward and keep your spine parallel to the floor. You keep it way up here. Okay, let's roll this up. Now the calf. Now, we talked about those calves before. Before we get going on aerobic activity of any type, running, jogging, or walking, we want to be loose there. Let's bring it down to what I call the OJ stance right here. All we're doing on an OJ stance is dropping this hip a little bit. Open up that hip flexor. You don't have to be low again. Okay, let's bring a change. We're going to go to the hamstring right here. We're just going to take the toe.
Here it is, I think.
I have a problem with that because my knee is
Okay, let's bring the arm up here.
Can you stop it there? All right, now, what if anything, happened when he tried to do this particular exercise we're demonstrating now?
He has an inability to stretch in this position. What we're doing is extending as you can see from the people behind him, we're extending the left hamstring with the heel on the floor and the toe up as we prepare to the activity so we can loosen the hamstring, loosen the lower back, and avoid pulled muscles. He cannot seem to bend either the left or right knee, and in part of writing this, I used some of his injuries and wrote alternative ways of working out. If you think about the people in the world, everybody may have a shoulder problem, an elbow problem, a knee problem. That doesn't exclude them from exercise, and there should be alternative ways of exercising. That's something I tried to bring to the forefront in this video.
All right, so you were aware of these limitations and tried to write that into it, is that correct?
Right, this was a hamstring stretch from a standing position that we're going to put him in.
All right, Your Honor, so the record is clear, we're at 15:51:43 at this point. We've stopped it. And
Yes.
you tell us how much further this goes on, this particular stretch aspect.
Do you mind if I let go for like an hour?
Huh? Well, no, maybe I don't think the judge and jury would like that, so we'll go just as long as it's relevant.
All right.
All right, we'll proceed on.
Just straighten this leg and pull her back.
Okay.
That's real good. That's all you have to do. Good, let's bring her down.
Now, can
We're
I
gonna
stop
go
right there?
push-
There's a lady who seems to be in very good shape right behind Mr. Simpson. Is she doing it the way you'd want a particular participant to do it in?
She's doing it the correct way.
Okay, and then you have to characterize that with the way Mr. Simpson is doing it?
Right.
All right, may continue on.
Tight abdominals, tight.
I think that's the end of the
That aspect
stretching
of it?
portion. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
going to push-ups here.
Now, there are, I presume, other stretching scenes which are pretty illustrative of what we just saw. Is that right?
I believe so.
And would further indicate the problems that he was having on that date?
I believe so.
All right, well, I don't want to bore the jury, so I'm going to skip down to something else. Is that all right with you?
It's fine with me.
Okay, is all right with you, Your Honor? You can say that. I want to now, in addition to this video, and we've seen a lot of this particular video in the aerobics part of it, was there also a part where Mr. Simpson sits behind a desk and talks about kind of sedentary exercises and things like that?
Right, there's a scene from an office, a simulated office, where part of the tape, the first half hour of the tape, or 30 minutes, whatever it was aerobic activity, and the second half hour of the tape was little segments of things you can do to stay loose or physically fit a little bit while you're in the office or on an airplane or in a hotel room or so forth.
And then we're going to ask Mr. Harris to cue up, first of all, I think, the airplane scene, Your Honor. And I'm not sure, Your Honor, this has been marked yet? This is not marked, so I'd like to mark this as the defendant's next in order, if the court please.
All right, is this the commercial video itself?
I think this is part of the commercial video. Commercial video, yes, Your Honor. The next two will be, Your Honor.
All right.
It'll be 1255. We'll make this 1255. All right. And I'm going to ask you to take a look at 1255, this particular portion of the video, and tell us what's taking place.
Okay.
Harris?
Of experience. An example of a day I had not long ago is that I started the day in New York. I had to be in Chicago for a breakfast meeting and a little talk. I had to go to Denver to interview a player. I had to go to Dallas to interview a couple of his former teammates, and I was back in New York by midnight. Now, that's an extreme example, but normally I'm on a plane 3 or 4 times a week. So an airplane in many cases is like my home away from home, and this seat quite often is my office away from my office. Now, over the years, I've had plenty of opportunity to develop some tips about airplane travel. One, and probably most importantly, is you should drink 6 or 8 ounces of water for every hour you're in the air. This will cut down on dehydration, which is one of the major causes of jet lag. Now, occasionally I'll have a beer on the plane, but I try to stay away from hard liquor or caffeine drinks because they also tend to dehydrate me. You go easy on those free peanuts because they're loaded with fat. When I can, I'll order a special meal in advance, usually a vegetable plate or fruit or low cholesterol. When I have a long flight and know that I'm going to be arriving in some town late, I try to plan ahead, try to map out my schedule so I don't eat too late and go to bed on a full stomach. Now, if you can, book an aisle seat. That'll give you more room, it's easier access to get up and walk around. And try not to cross your legs, because that can restrict circulation. Now, there's a lot of exercises that you can do on an airplane and an airplane seat, which is similar to the ones you saw us do in the office. Now, let's start with a simple one, the neck rotation. Yeah, very simple. Don't disturb anyone, just get it going. Get those shoulders going, a little shoulder rotation, back and forth. Try to get that blood circulation going. You can stretch a little bit, stretch the upper body by reaching for a light, or reaching for the air. It's not too bad. Here's one that's really kind of funny. It's called the buttock squeeze. I'm not really show it to you, but if you're sitting behind a guy and you see his head doing that, you can bet he's doing the buttock squeeze. And then a leg stretch. For me, this is the most important. My legs really get stiff. Just take both feet and put it underneath the seat in front of you. Try to stay constant. You don't want to disturb the person there. It's like isometrics. Just get that blood going. And then there's a heel roll. Put your feet flat on the ground. This is for that Achilles. That shin back there. Just get that heel going, toes up. Now, keep in mind, the longer you're on a flight, the more often you should get up to avoid stiffness and help circulation and just energize your body. Now, Richard is going to show you some of the exercises you can do if you find the opportunity to stand on an airplane.
All right, Richard, who's he talking about?
Me.
All right. And then you then proceed to do some exercises where you're standing.
Correct.
On the plane.
Correct.
All right. And did you write the portion that Mr. Simpson gave there also?
I wrote the exercises.
Wrote the exercises? And when you talked to Mr. Simpson about his participation in the video, did he want to participate in this kind of video as opposed to the aerobics game?
Objection.
Sustain.
We can't answer that. All right. Now, there was still a further one. And Mr. Bennett? All right. He's going to try to get the last segment here. With regard, you mentioned earlier there was a scene in a simulated office. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what is depicted in this scene at the simulated office, if you recall?
I recall he did a bunch of exercises that you can do. Most of them are from stretching positions that you could do if you were in a coat and tie in the office where you wouldn't really perspire a lot. And sometimes sitting for extended periods of time, again, makes you feel tired and groggy. And if you implement a few of these exercises when you're in your office, you tend to be a little bit more awake and have a little bit more life about you.
And did you write this also?
The exercise again.
All right, the exercise you did. And with regard to that, if Mr. Harris can get to it shortly, how long is that aspect? How long is that one?
That one, if I remember, I think that might have been the longest of them all. Might have been like 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes?
About 4 minutes.
All right. Now, with regard to other anecdotal information, did you have any other particular anecdotes or any other things that occurred during the course of this day with Mr. Simpson? We've talked about the chairs, sitting on the chairs and the ice,
Right.
and the bags. Any other anecdotal things of that nature?
Sustain. Rephrase the question.
All right. Did anything else happen with regard to Mr. Simpson that you observed and his physical limitations on that day?
Not that I can recall right now.
You're still getting there, yeah. With regard to the other people who participated in this video, there were some ladies in the background
2 women,
and 2 men,
2 men.
plus yourself. Now, were those people who were fairly physically fit?
The women were in pretty good shape, as were the men, but due to the nature of the concept of the video, which was we were going to target the men's market, and one study that I saw indicated that as many as 50% of the men in America are sedentary. So we didn't want to come back with a real hard-hitting video, nor did we want to come in with a video where everybody was in great shape. And so the men were kind of what we called an everyday man.
Everyday man?
And like an everyday man, not bad shape, not great shape.
All right.
In fact, well, go ahead.
The women were in better shape than the men, weren't they?
The women were in a little bit better shape.
And the women, maybe a sensitive subject, what was the general age of the women in that video?
I would say, no disrespect to them, but I would say they were 30 to 35.
All right. And with regard to you, you were kind of the leader of that video, right?
Correct.
And at the time this video was shot last May, were you just a tick under 40?
It's a lot under 40.
Were you 39?
Yes.
Is that a lot under 40?
Yeah.
All right. So you're just under 40. All right. And the other men who were in the video, they're approximately...
Actually, I take that back. It's 38.
38? All right. You're 39 now?
No, I'm 40 now, but we shot it in May.
All right. Now, with regard to the other men in the video, approximately how old were they?
Once again, I would say 33 to 40.
All right. I think Mr. Harris has this now. Can you take a look at this and tell us what we're looking at?
Now, most of us spend 8 or 10 hours right here at work, in an office, behind the desk. Now, just because we're wearing a shirt and tie doesn't mean we should ignore our health and our fitness. Now, obviously, these aren't the best clothes to get sweaty in, but here's an at-work workout you can do to help you get through the day. I guarantee you, you're not going to work up a big sweat. Now, anytime you get a little stressed out, calm yourself by taking a few deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Now, here's a 5-minute routine. You can do that will increase your circulation, relieve some tension, reduce some stress, and hopefully lead to a more productive day. Now, we're going to start with some shoulder shrugs. Okay, very simple. You just want to do about 6 or 8 of these. Get some of that tension out of your neck. All right? Then we'll move to an upper back stretch. Just lock those fingers, push them out there, keep your back straight if you can. Oh, yes. Feel pretty good, doesn't it? How about some chest contractions? Take your arms, interlock them. You don't want to squeeze your arms down. Just push that chest out there, all right? Oh, yeah, like that, okay? Now let's work on the other parts of our bodies. Let's go to our lower back stretch, all right? Pull the leg up. Try to lean into it. Stretch that lower back, honey, like that. Oh, yeah. And we'll get both legs in this time, okay? How about some leg extensions and some hamstrings, you know? Just extend the leg. Work on that quad, tighten it up. Pull back that hamstring. Most of these exercises you just want to get 8 to 10 seconds. They're not long. As I said, we're not working on the sweat here. We're just trying to get that blood flowing, okay? Some ankle flexions and extensions. Just extend that ankle out there. Extend it out good. Roll it around a little bit. All right. Get them both in there. Just good. Get that ankle nice and loose, okay? How about some bicep and isometrics? Now, this is not recommended if you're a hypertensive person. So you can just avoid this one. Just get at your desk. Get those hands in there. And a little isometrics. Just pull up a little bit. How good does that feel? Just get that blood going. Yeah, all right. Now let's make a fix. We've been sitting at that computer all day, messing around with that typewriter, writing.
We got the idea. Now, with regard to this particular, did you again write the exercises for Mr. Simpson? This
Yeah, once again, I kind of routine the exercise program with the doctor's seal of approval,
All right.
always.
And you got the doctor's approval before you did it, is that right?
On every one of them. I'll repeat it every time if you need me to, but just so you know that the expert did approve everything I wrote, and there were many changes.
On the plane situation, in the travel situation, did Mr. Simpson participate in helping to write that because he travels so much?
He may have had some of the speaking parts he may have put in on his own.
Some ad libs?
Sure. And maybe put in a little bit of it. I did the actual exercises, and where the dialogue came from may have been put in by him, may have been put in by another writer.
All right. Now, you've come here to testify today pursuant to subpoena, is that correct? Or request from the defense?
Yes, I have.
All right. And you've talked to the prosecution before this, have you not?
Yes, I have.
And you cooperated with them when they came to talk to you?
Yes, I did.
They tape record that statement?
Yes, they did.
They tape recorded?
Yes.
When was that you talked to them?
I don't remember the date, but I remember Cato Kalin was on the stand because we were watching that from my house.
And they came out to see you, and who came out to talk to you?
I believe it was Dana Thompson and one other gentleman.
And they tape recorded your statement?
Yes, they did.
Very well. Thank you very kindly. I have nothing further at this point, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Darden. And Mr. Darden, we're going to break at 1:45.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You've been talking an awful lot about Mr. Simpson and your experience with him during the shooting of that video, haven't you?
I have done some. I also, can I continue?
Is the answer yes?
Yes, with an explanation.
Well, you've been on Geraldo twice?
Yes.
Geraldo.
The guy back there, Geraldo Rivera, you've been on this show
Correct.
twice? There's someone named Richard Prager,
Yes.
Inside Edition,
Yes.
American Journal.
Yes.
Okay. Any other tabloid television programs?
Yes.
What others?
I believe Extra Magazine also, but I need to explain also why. Nope. And maybe like an after what's it called, union payment. But I have a contract to make appearances to promote the tape. So part of my contract states I have to make 10 appearances to promote the exercise tape.
Is
And my reason for being on there was to talk about the exercise tape.
is this considered one of those appearances to promote the tape?
Overruled.
Actually, I don't even know if the tape is out anymore. To be honest with you, I'll tell you what happened. Playboy has sold the tape to some other people, and I have no idea if the tape is out. I haven't spoken with them for a long time. What I understand was the major outlets did not take it. So to the best of my knowledge, and I did have a call the other day where they could get their hands on the tape, and my answer is I have no idea. So I don't think it's on the market. So you have not seen me on TV for, I think maybe Geraldo was the last time I was on, because that's when the tape switched hands and it never ended up in the markets. So I don't need to go on anymore.
And you've also given a number of interviews to journalists, right? News journalists?
Newspaper, correct?
Okay. Gave an interview to the Los Angeles Times?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this was your first time meeting the defendant, is that right?
First time was, yes, early '94.
Okay. This was the first time you'd ever worked out with him, that is during the latter part of May 1994.
No, we worked out in an office in Playboy in Beverly Hills in it's either late March or April. It wasn't a strenuous workout, but it was we kind of went through a little bit of what we would be doing.
Okay. Okay. Now, when you began your testimony today, you said that you weren't an expert, correct?
I am not an expert.
Okay. And you said an expert would be someone with a PhD?
Or an MD who specializes in the fitness field.
Okay. Someone like Dr. Heisinger, for instance?
I think Dr. Huizinga specializes in internal medicine.
Okay. So someone who was a team physician for the Los Angeles Raiders wouldn't qualify as an expert in your mind, is that correct?
It's irrelevant.
At any event, you don't hold yourself out as an expert, right?
I do not.
Okay. You're not a doctor?
No, I'm not.
What degrees do you hold?
None. I'm just literally a fitness instructor.
Okay. And prior to your joining Mr. Simpson on this Playboy video, you were on cable.
I was on cable.
Okay. What cable network were you on?
Prime Ticket, Prime Network across the United States.
Okay. And you were doing a fitness show?
Exercise, half-hour exercise TV show.
Okay. And is that something that you still do?
No, it is not on at the moment.
You shot the aerobic segment of this video in one day.
Correct.
And when you say one day, you don't mean just in 8 hours, correct?
Correct.
It actually took you, what, 15 hours, 16 hours to shoot this video?
I don't know the exact time, but it was pretty high. Yeah, it was right out in that area.
Okay. And Mr. Simpson was present at the beginning of the video?
Yes.
And he was present at the end, is that correct?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And you described for us already some of his limitations, correct?
Correct.
And when you saw Mr. Simpson, you recognized those limitations, right? You recognized the fact that he had some limitations, right?
When I saw him,
Okay, well, when you saw him on the 27th, or 26th, rather.
25th, the day of the shooting.
Okay.
You're right. Sure. I knew of his limitations by that point.
Okay. And you were concerned that he might not be able to make it through the video.
Right.
Okay. He might not be able to make it through the shooting, right?
Yeah, in fact, I somewhat prepared for that.
But he did make it, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You were surprised that he made it, correct?
Towards the end of the day, I wasn't anymore.
He convinced you that he could do it as the day went on, is that correct?
He convinced me that he would be able to do it. Correct.
Okay. Now, throughout the day, you and the defendant did a number of exercises, right?
Correct.
You did push-ups.
Yes.
You saw the defendant make punching motions.
Yes, I did.
And what do you call this thing where you twist your trunk all the way around?
That would just be like a lower back abdominal strengthening.
Okay, he did that. What other kinds of exercises did the defendant do that day?
We did a lot of movements, as you saw, forward and backward movements, lateral movements. We did bending from the waist, bending from the knees. We did shoulder movements. We did lats and back. We did some bicep curls. We really covered. When you write a tape, something the doctor insisted I put in the tape is you train balance and all that simply means is we're going to work the bicep, we have to work the tricep. If we're going to work the quad, you have to work the hamstring. You have to train a joint balance, otherwise you have a discrepancy in strength and flexibility about the joint. So there are many times when I'd write something down and we would tape me doing it and send it to the doctor, and he'd send it back with suggestions and corrections and so forth. So we did every muscle, not every muscle group of the body, but we did cover the body pretty much from head to toe at an entry-level position.
Okay, and Mr. Simpson did all of that.
Yes,
Okay. Now, Mr. Simpson was able to lift his arms over his head, correct?
correct.
Okay. He was able to lift his body up on his toes and on his hands and do push-ups,
Correct.
He was able to stand on his toes.
Right, we have a point where it's a slow movement up and down because it activates the calf and Achilles tendon, which is a common injury in running and jogging and exercise.
Okay, and despite his limitations, he was able to extend his legs in sort of a runner stand.
Like the hamstring, the calf stretch and the hamstring stretch, yes.
Okay, and he was able to bend his knees.
Sure,
In a standing position, he was able to bend his knees.
right from the one you saw, the standing hamstring stretch.
So he just did a number of exercises that day, right?
We did quite a few, as you saw on the tape.
Now, there was a point around 7 or 8 o'clock that night when you became especially concerned as to whether or not the defendant could complete the video. Is that correct?
One part in particular, when we restarted after that 2-hour break,
Okay. And you were concerned at that time that he might not finish, right?
it was put to me that I wanted to do another run through in each area.
All right. So the answer is yes to my question?
Yes?
Okay. And you did something to help motivate the defendant. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, I did.
All right. To get him going, right? You issued a challenge.
Yes, I did.
You helped him set a goal, right?
You bet.
And that's because you figured in your own mind that if you could help him set a goal and issue a challenge, he'd try to reach that goal, right?
Yes, I did.
You said something to the defendant, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you say to him?
I don't know exactly the word, but I said something to the effect that, well, let me start by saying this. We wanted to do all 3 rounds. And OJ said, listen, I'm good for 1 round. I've been sitting for a couple hours.
Okay. But tell me what you said.
Okay.
No, it's non-responsive, though.
What did you say to the defendant to motivate him and to help him set a goal?
Sustained.
State of mind, Your Honor, explain subsequent conduct.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this next question and answer is limited to the purpose only to explain the subsequent conduct, not for the truth of what was said.
What did you say to the defendant to motivate him and to help him set a goal?
Okay, after the first round, we got to push-ups. I got back on my feet, I started walking, and I looked at him, and I said something to the effect that, again, I don't know the exact words, but something to the effect that, geez, too bad you're not tough enough to make it through this. And I just kept walking, or something along that lines to try to motivate him, or kind of tease him a little bit that, I'm plenty strong enough to keep going, it's too bad you're not. And
Okay, so what did the defendant say to you after you teased him a little bit?
kind of looked at me and something, in fact, he said something like, let's go, let's do it. Something along those lines. Again, I don't know the exact words.
Okay. And you'd already been exercising something like 12 hours, is that correct?
That's no problem for me, yes.
You understand that in this case we're concerned as to what happened within a matter of several seconds.
Sustained.
Okay, so the defendant said something like, or words to the effect of, let's go, come on, right?
The jury heard what the statement was.
All right. And did you and the defendant again begin exercising shortly thereafter?
Right.
Okay, and during the exercise, did you continue to say things to the defendant?
I kind of
You have to answer yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Did you needle him?
Yes.
Did you challenge him?
Yes.
And did he respond to those challenges?
Yes.
And isn't it true that the more you needled this defendant and challenged this defendant, the more he responds?
Yes, but I need to explain something about that. When you're hosting a show or an exercise tape like this, there has to be a certain amount of energy and kind of playing along with the audience and the people, and that's very important. That's part of every show and every activity that I'm involved in. Everything I host is kind of like, you kind of lead them along, you gear them along, you motivate them. It's like a coach sitting there saying, come on, you can do it, things along those lines. So yes, the answer to your question is correct, but because OJ and I were the only 2 speaking people in the tape, it was important that I kind of direct things at him. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to turn to one of the people behind me whose names you don't know or hear about and start talking with them.
It's a good time to break, Your Honor.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our mid-afternoon break. Remember all my admonitions to you. We'll be back in session at 3 o'clock. Mr. Walsh, you can step down and come back in 10 minutes. All right?
Completely,
Correct.
and he's punching out.
Right.
Now he's punching up.
Right.
Hands in a fist.
Yes.
portion from that same exhibit.
Overhead.
This is 1549-46. What is he doing here?
Extending arm overhead.
The arms, here we go.
Short lever, long lever.
Okay, and he was extending his arm completely in front of him and over his head?
Correct.
And that requires use of the major muscle groups in the shoulder and the back, right?
Shoulder, back, arms, lats. Correct.
Let me show you another segment.
All set. Start with
1548-45.
3 down center, pull down hard. Let's do it again.
He's able to extend his arms outward fully.
Right, we're going arms overhead like this, bring it down forward and extending down. It's a warm-up movement.
And you did warm up a little bit, is that right?
Yes, we did. Part of any type of activity is always should include a warm-up, and on our tape, of course, it was a 35-minute warm-up.
And I think it was your finding after watching the defendant warm up that the more he warmed up, the more limber he appeared. Is that correct?
That is correct.
The more he warmed up, the more he could do. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And he could do things easier, right?
Yes.
Now, there were times during this taping when you yourself felt a little winded. Is that right?
No, I don't think so, in all honesty. I mean, it may have been a little bit tired, mostly tired of talking maybe, but physically, no.
Okay. Is it more difficult to exercise and talk than it is to just exercise?
You bet. Yes, it is. In fact, the project I'm hired for, mostly I'm hired hosting projects because of my mouth, not because of anything else. In fact, when Playboy hired me, they hired me because they said, though you're in shape, you have the appearance that people could look at you and say, geez, I could look like that, as opposed to someone who's so physically fit, I'd never be able to look like that. So it's kind of a backhand compliment.
Okay. At any event, and you do talk, Mr. Walsh, but it is more difficult to exercise and talk while exercising.
Tremendous amount.
Okay.
Tremendous.
It takes a lot more aerobic
Conditioning.
Conditioning.
Right.
And that's what the defendant did in this case, right? He exercised and he talked during those exercises.
Right. When you see the tape, if it would be like compared to a football game, I would be the play-by-play man, and then he would be the color commentator. He throws in the tidbits, and I throw in the foundation types.
You know, and to get back to those occasions when you would challenge the defendant and motivate him and help him set a goal. You concluded at some point that the defendant was really a gamer. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. And that's the word you used, gamer.
I believe so.
Okay. And what did you mean by that?
Well, reached at the end of the day, we've been going a long time. The two girls behind me were very physically fit and used to this type of activity. Nobody's used to 12 hours a day of exercise, but they were. Two men behind me, young men in their 30s, they were beat. I mean, they were gone. And they're in better shape, at least in my opinion, than OJ was. And there are times I thought he was not going to be able to finish. There are times I talked with Playboy prior to shooting that he was not going to be able to finish this, and we better prepare for it. And somehow when action was said, he somehow dug down and was able to pull it out.
He was able to do it once the camera came on, correct?
Yeah.
Once you began shooting, the defendant somehow found the energy and made the effort to do the exercises that you wanted him to do. Is that right?
That is correct.
And he managed to do them the way that you wanted him to do those exercises.
Pretty much so, yeah.
Let me just show you a clip from 1645-38. What's going on here? Audio, please.
Getting ready to do push-ups.
And that's it.
I noticed your trainer is cheating. He's on his knees.
Yeah, that's right. I'm even on my feet. Okay, head is up, face is down. Abdominals are tight, rear is tight. I have no interest in seeing you do a lot of push-ups, but I do want to see you do them right. You don't have to do them all, you guys. Tight abdominals, tight rear. Heck, I'll do them on my knees. This is another way to do it. Good, I made that last one. Let's take a walk.
Oh, yeah.
Right back into it.
Now, in that video clip that we just saw, the defendant was doing push-ups,
Correct.
right? His back was straight, correct?
Yes.
He did it in the appropriate manner.
Yes, I'd say so.
And there was one point in that video where the defendant was sort of challenging you, wasn't he?
Probably.
You looked a little winded there. Wouldn't you agree?
He was dreaming. No, I think he was kidding and go along with the theme of exercise video or a show, kind of the motivation type stuff.
Now, when the video session was over, And I'm sorry, how long did it take?
I don't know the exact number of hours. I wouldn't be surprised if it took 15 hours.
Now, would that be 15 hours of actual taping?
No, wouldn't be 15 hours of actual taping, but what it would be 15 hours that day on the set. You know, you do break for lunch, you do have breaks in between run-throughs, you do have breaks for camera reasons or any other problem, but it's quite a bit of exercise.
Okay. And after you completed the shooting for that day,
Right.
after about 15 hours, did you discuss with the defendant his performance that day?
I did in leaving.
Did you ask him how he was able to do that? I have one moment, John. This is a question posed to the defendant. Not offered for the truth of the matter stated.
We see counsel without court order, please. All right, proceed. Proceed.
Mr. Walsh, at the end of that session that day, you asked the defendant how he was able to complete the workout that day, correct?
Yes, I did.
What did he say?
Again, I don't know the exact wording he used. I believe it was something to the fact that he said it's like Sunday or it's just like game day or something like that, referring to the days when he played football. I believe that was the wording.
The defendant said that it was like game day.
Something like that, yeah.
And in fact, he went on to explain to you what he meant by that term, correct?
He just kind of let it go at that, you know, kind of like referring to, you know, the old Sundays when Simon put the helmet on.
That's something he said?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, what did he say in that regard?
I remember finishing.
What did he say in that regard?
We finished it, and remember we were going to do one run through. And after a little kind of coaxing him, we went through the whole aerobic segment one last time. This was in the, you know, in 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th hour, wherever it was that we finished. And I have to admit, I was amazed that the man was able to do it. And I looked, I said, how did you able to do that? Because he was dead set on stopping after the first round, and that's when he made that comment.
The comment being that it's like game day.
It's like game day.
And the defendant told you at that time that back when he played in the NFL during those days that he'd be a wreck all week, correct?
Not at that time.
Okay. Oh, he told you something like that at a later time?
No, at an earlier time.
Okay, well, when was it that he told you that?
Oh, well,
It was during that when I mentioned we had that break, and we really had to spend 2 hours of virtually doing nothing. And we're just kind of sitting around discussing. You know, discussing football days, discussing other stuff,
And what did
golf and things like that.
Okay, and what did he say to you at that time about being a physical wreck in the NFL?
Mentioning that, you know, you wake up Monday morning and feeling pretty beat up, you know, kind of sometimes lasts throughout the week. And again, I don't know exactly the words used, but it was something referring to, and this wasn't the first time I've heard this. I know several NFL football players who kind of mentioned the same thing. So,
Well, you had a conversation with one of my investigators on March 22, 1995. Is that correct?
I don't know. Could
You
I see
spoke-
the transcript?
You spoke to my investigator, Dana Thompson?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and that conversation was recorded?
That was recorded.
Would it refresh your recollection to look at a transcript of the conversation you had with Mr. Thompson?
I would.
yes.
I'm going to ask you to read to yourself, first of all. I'm going to direct your attention to paragraph 2.
Just the yellow, right?
Just paragraph 2.
Correct. That's pretty much everything I said.
Okay. Does that refresh your recollection as to what you said?
Yeah, and that's kind of the way I answered this. Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, the defendant told you that it was like game day, right?
Right.
And he told you about being in the NFL, right?
Right.
He told you about being a physical wreck throughout the week.
Right.
And then he told you that despite any physical ailments or limitations he felt he might have during the week, he was always able to play on Sunday, right?
Yes?
He told you that he got up for game day, right?
Yes.
He got up for the challenge.
Yes.
Let me just show you a couple more excerpts and I'll be finished.
16:44:27.
Yes.
Just like a little basketball shuffle. Looks like this. Here we go. Step together, we'll step together. Do it again. You ever see basketball players that are way down here? Like that? Okay, let's do it every time. Ready? Here, 2, 3. Good. Just like that. Real simple. Hands up, man. I'm guarding you. My hands are up.
No chase, guard.
Yes.
Watch this pass.
Lateral movement there.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean he can play in the NBA, right?
Ha. No way.
But he does have some lateral movement.
Right.
You mentioned a few moments ago that the defendant made it all the way through the entire last.
All 3 rounds.
Okay. How long did each round last?
Oh, I would say somewhere in the vicinity of 9 minutes
Okay. And how many times did you do each segment?
throughout the day total.
Yeah.
Boy, I would probably say we did each round, I'd say 3 times each at least, and then the last run through, so that's 3 times each, I'd say maybe 4 times each.
Okay. Now. So would you agree that this defendant could, Mr. Simpson, he could exert himself physically for 2 or 3 minutes at one time?
Yes.
I'd like to show you another. You and the defendant had a number of brief conversations throughout the day. Is that right?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Show you 1642, 44. Before we start running this, what's the defendant doing in this still?
Looks like we're just reaching up in the air.
This is 15:48:54.
We're either reaching up.
Let's take a walk. Here we go. Okay, let's do the whole thing over from the top game, but let's have arms. Ready? Here we go. Arms only. That's it. That's it. Now make it a little tighter. You can go it. You feel good, get the intensity up there. Both arms. Don't mind me if I start growling a little bit.
In this segment, his arms are fully extended in front of him. Is that right?
Yes, it appears so.
No,
That's at 16:42 that we started.
nothing about that clip that would.
Overruled. Mr. Dart.
I'll withdraw the question. Continue, please.
Ready?
Hold it
Let's
just a
go.
second. Hold it. Cut the audio on this.
It's the audio portion we're interested in, Your Honor.
It's already been played 3 times now. Proceed.
But not with this witness. I have questions about the audio portion.
Sidebar with court order, please. Thank you, counsel. Proceed.
Mr. Walsh, at one point during the video, the defendant made a comment, something to the effect of, if you hit your wife, you can just blame it on the video.
Rephrase the question. I don't think that's entirely accurate.
At one point in the video, did the defendant state, quote, "I'm telling you, you just got to get your space in if you're working out with the wife. If you know what I mean, then you can always blame it on working out." You recall the defendant saying that?
Yes, I do.
And did the defendant ever mention anything or something about hitting your wife during the video?
Overruled.
No, he never did.
When he mentioned something about getting your space in when you're working out with your wife, was that scripted? Was that part of the script of this video?
No,
You weren't expecting the defendant to say that, were you?
not at all.
Did you respond to him after he said that?
I know what I responded in my mind.
And in your mind, how did you respond?
First,
Did he make that comment only once that day?
no,
He made it another time?
made it twice.
What was the second comment that he made along those lines?
Or will,
I think it was something along the same line of that.
And the date that this occurred was what, May 20?
May 25th.
Had you met the defendant's wife, ex-wife at that time?
No, I had never met.
You never met Nicole Brown?
No.
You and the defendant wrestled at some point?
Not wrestled, no.
Was there some type of physical contact that you had with the defendant other than what you've already described?
Not that I recall.
If I can have one moment.
Mr. Darden, if a chance, I'd like to bring up something.
no, hold on.
May I approach and confer with the witness for a moment, Your Honor?
Not at this point.
Okay. Are you familiar with the term called the adrenaline factor?
I sure am.
That's the term you've used before?
I don't know if I've used it. I mean, I'm familiar with it. I wouldn't say that I could explain to you what it's all about, but I'm familiar with it.
Well, you were interviewed by Art Harris from CNN on January 31, 1995, right?
I don't know. I mean, it may have been. I remember doing a CNN interview.
Okay. Did you mention something about the adrenaline factor in that interview?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I may have, but I don't recall.
Do you have an understanding of that term?
I understand what it means, of course.
Okay. What does it mean?
If,
Give it foundation.
Foundation, sustain.
That's okay.
Mr. Cochran?
Mr. Walsh, with regard to the day that you spent with Mr. Simpson, the limitations that you had found before the video started, do you find those same limitations at the end of the day?
yes.
Like the problems that you described for this jury with his knees, his ankle, his shoulder, still those problems at the end, isn't that correct?
Correct.
And the fact that Mr. Darden asked some questions about him being a gamer, or whatever that fact is, you're aware of the fact that Mr. Simpson had not played a pro football game for more than 15 years prior to May 25th, 1994, isn't that correct?
Correct.
In fact, you were very surprised at his lack of mobility when you bumped into him and he almost fell over, isn't that right?
Yeah, this is a leading.
Yes.
All right, let me phrase it another way, please, Your Honor. Thank you. You were very surprised at how Mr. Simpson reacted to when you bumped into him, isn't it?
Your Honor, same objection.
Well, let me rephrase it again. Were you surprised when Mr. Simpson almost fell over when you bumped into him when he was acting like he was holding a ball?
Yes, I was.
And why were you surprised at that?
I just didn't think it was that I touched him that hard or bumped him that hard that he would react the way he did.
And the fact that he's a gamer and he was able to complete these exercises on that particular date, did you ever see him go back over those 20 or 25-pound bags? Was he ever able to do one curl with those bags?
No.
Now, with regard to the times you've appeared on these various shows, and I didn't get all the names, but the
Right.
shows that you did, why were you appearing on these shows?
Well, it's anytime you have a book, anytime you have a movie, anytime you're promoting a project for sale, whether it be a video or a movie, and you see all the people go out and they have to promote their movie or their book or their video. That is crucial. That is the way products are sold to the public when you're trying to sell something along those lines. That is my reason for going on these shows.
And when you went on these shows, did you still tell the truth, as you've told this jury today, about Mr. Simpson's limitations and about how this video took place? Tell the
Yeah,
truth.
I haven't changed the story or since June the 13th, but I haven't said anything different since June the 13th.
Now, with regard to this video, you mentioned this video was an entry-level workout. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so that basically, all of us in this room should be able to do this, the members of the jury, and if we wanted to borrow your video on a Saturday and do this, we could all basically get out and try to do that. Is that right?
I would think so.
I mean, that's entry-level, right?
Yes.
All right. If we're in some kind of reasonable shape, we try to do it and could do it, right?
Yes.
All right. And I know with your help, you could do it even better. Is that right?
Much better.
All right. Now, were you surprised at OJ's physical limitations when you first encountered him in this case?
Very, very much.
And why was that? Why were you so surprised?
Well, I never had met OJ before the time at the Playboy office. And, you know, after his football days, I really don't have I don't remember anything else he did. I don't remember ever seeing him. I don't remember meeting him, anything like this. So the first time I met him, here's this man who used to run down the field, is now all beat up. It's just and I was a little surprised this was Playboy's choice for a fitness video.
You thought they made a mistake, isn't that right?
I definitely did.
Now, with regard to the times that you described for this jury, that at times after this 2-hour break that you described for the jury that Mr. Simpson would be seated in a chair with ice packs on his body. You recall
Correct.
that? And so that we're clear, that was after the 2-hour hiatus that was taken?
That was after the tour hiatus.
And did you see him in that chair on more than one occasion during breaks or during times when you were setting up a game?
I recall seeing him 2 times. When there was a break, I would be going about a million things going on, but I recall passing by it twice.
And when you would see him on these 2 occasions, did he have the ice bags on some portion of his body?
Yes.
And at times when Mr. Simpson wasn't able to function well during that video, would it be correct that the cameras would focus on other members of the audience, the people in the back and that sort of thing?
Right. What you?
Sustainer for his question.
Sorry, yeah. Were there times when other members of the entourage, if I can use that word, were focused on by the camera?
Right. We used a 3-camera shoot. That's why you see the 3 locks. And I know there's, for the most part, 1 on me the entire time. In many cases, 1 on OJ and I, or just OJ, and then maybe 1 master shot or picking out someone from the back.
All right. And at times when he couldn't do exercises, would anything happen with regard to his particular camera shot?
Overruled.
I really don't know if the camera operator would switch elsewhere if he'd just stay on, because we had 3 cameras and we know in editing we could go somewhere else, if he'd just stay on him until he regrouped and got back in the flow of it.
And were there times when he needed to regroup, Mr. Simpson?
Yeah, I remember times seeing him where and part of it had to do with he didn't know the routine, that we'd be going right and he'd start going left, but you just keep going. You don't, cut, because I know that the camera will, in editing, will fix it.
Now, Mr. Darden asked some questions about lateral movement. In seeing Mr. Simpson's lateral movement, you saw he had a great problem moving from side to side. Isn't that correct? Could you answer that?
It was a difficult movement for him to maneuver. Right.
And that's the lateral movement that went from side to side.
Correct.
I was not very graciously, but I was demonstrating. That was for the record. I was demonstrating that for the court reporter, that lateral movement. Thank you. I have nothing further. Thank you.
No, Mr. Costa, so Mr. Walsh, when the defendant almost fell over, as you described it, you don't know whether or not he was just faking that, do you?
Speculation.
Overruled.
No, I don't.
You don't know if he was just putting on an act.
No, I don't.
And you say that you thought Playboy made a mistake when they picked O.J. Simpson to co-star with you in this exercise video?
Yes, I did.
But he surprised you, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He was a lot better at this than you ever thought he would be, correct?
That's correct.
That's all.
A lot better at finishing this project, despite his physical limitations, than you thought he'd ever be. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Walsh, thank you very much, sir. You're excused. Next witness. Deputy Bashmaki, you want to grab that? Bring me a small one. A small one. All right, Mr. Ford. Good afternoon again. Mrs. Robertson. All right.
Right hand, please. You solemnly swear that the testimony you may give will cause nothing before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, ma'am. Please have a seat on the witness stand and stand spell your first and last name for the record.
My name is Willie Ford, W-I-L-L-I-E-F-O-R-D.
Mr. Cochran.
Thank you, McCalley. Good afternoon, Mr. Ford.
Good afternoon.
And, sir, Mr. Ford, what is your occupation, sir?
I'm a photographer for the city of Los Angeles.
And for how long have you been employed as a photographer for the city of Los Angeles?
Approximately 13 years.
And are you presently assigned to a particular department within the city of Los Angeles?
Yes, I'm assigned to LAPD SID Scientific Division.
LAPD Scientific Investigation
Scientific
Division?
Investigation Division.
How long have you been so assigned?
13 years.
And as such, you go out to crime scenes and you take pictures, do you?
Yes, sir.
And, may we approach just for a moment with regard to the reporting, just for a second? All right.
Without the Ford.
Sir, you asked one question. You asked one question. And you need a sidebar? We are months into this. He knew this guy was coming for months, years. And he needs a sidebar? Is he talking about his handkerchief right now? Is that why they're over there? Judge, do you like my handkerchief? Are you... Oh, wait, he pushed it in.
Proceed.
Oh, we're on a new day? No, he just pushed it in. It was out and flowery earlier. Maybe you want to sneeze or cry.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Ford, sir, in connection with your duties with the Los Angeles Police Department, and specifically as a photographer for the Special Investigations Division, did you have occasion on or about June 13th of 1994 to go to 360 North Rockingham?
Yes, sir.
And that's in connection with your duties with the LAPD?
Yes, sir.
And who'd you go there with, if anyone, on that date?
With my boss, David Atkins.
David Atkins?
Atkins. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And how did the two of you get to that location?
We drove
And where did you drive from? To
from
Rockingham?
Parker Center.
And you arrived out at Rockingham at some point?
Yes, sir.
And what time did you arrive at that location?
According to the crime scene log, it was 3:10.
About 3:10 in the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
And prior to your testimony here today, you've had occasion to review the crime scene log, have you not?
No, sir.
Well, since June 13th, you've seen the crime scene log.
No, sir. I was told by the detective on the case that that was on the log.
Okay, which detective told you that?
I think it was. I think it was Harrell, Detective Harrell.
Haro, H-A-R-O?
Yes, sir.
All right. He told you that the crime scene log indicated that you checked in about 3:10 at
Yes, sir.
Rockingham? All right. Does that comport generally with your recollection of the time you left downtown and the time it should have taken you to drive from Parker Center to Brentwood?
Repeat that question again.
Certainly, sir. Does the 3:10 time comport generally with the time that you knew you left Parker Center and drove west to Brentwood to 360 North Rockingham? Is that about the time you think
You
should have
had
left?
me at breadsticks.
I didn't review that the time that I left. I just noticed that the time that we got there was 3:10 according to the law.
According to what Harlow told you in the log, is that right? All right. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Now, when you got there, did you encounter and talk with some LAPD detective outside the Rockingham location regarding the reasons why you were there?
Yes, sir.
And which detective did you talk with?
That was Detective Harper.
All right, you talked to Detective Harper, and you met him outside of Rockingham, did you?
Yes, sir.
And did Detective Harper give you some instructions or tell you what he wanted you to do with regard to that location?
Yes.
And what was that?
To videotape the personal property of Mr. Simpson, outside, from outside as well as the interior of his home, starting outside first.
All right, and so your idea, your role was to videotape all the personal property, both outside and inside Mr. Simpson's residence. Is that
Yes,
correct? Sir. And in accordance with that, you've been doing your job for about 13 years?
Yes, sir.
You do your job well, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You try to do the best you can, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, and on this particular date, you were there to follow the instructions that you were given, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
So did you start this task by the use of some sort of a video camera?
Yes, sir.
And can you tell us what kind of video camera you were using on that date?
It was a VHS RCA camcorder, full size. Yes, sir.
Camcorder? All right. You can look through the little finder and you see what you're shooting?
Yes, sir.
And what you were trying to do in going through the exterior and interior of the house was to shoot anything that was out, isn't that correct?
Yes, sir.
And your instructions were to shoot any and all objects that were out, any and all clothes that were out.
Yes,
when
sir.
you were there, isn't that right?
Overruled.
Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you started outside, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Then you came inside the house, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, with regard to this VHS, was it, did you say RCA? What kind of camera was it?
It's RCA.
RCA VHS camcorder. Looking through the viewfinder, you saw like a time on that viewfinder, didn't you?
There is a time on that.
Right.
But this particular day, I wasn't paying attention to
All
it.
right. There was a time, but you found out at some time afterwards that the time that was on that viewfinder was 1 hour behind the actual time, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
So if the time showed 3 o'clock on the viewfinder, it was actually 4 o'clock, is that right?
Yes.
And that was because it hadn't been changed because of daylight saving time?
Right.
All right, sir. So so if we were to look at a video of this, we will see a time, and we have to add 1 hour to that, isn't that right?
Yes.
Okay, to get the correct time. All right. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So you started outside, and then you went inside, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you talk to any other detectives about what you were going to shoot other than Harper?
Yes.
You got inside. Who else did you talk
Detective Harrell.
with? Okay. You talked to Harper outside, right?
Yes.
And then when you got inside, did you talk to Detective Harrow?
Yes.
H-A-R-O? All right. And with regard to Mr. Simpson's house, you shot first downstairs, is that correct, with your camera?
Yes.
And then did you shoot all the rooms downstairs?
Repeat the question.
Did you go in each of the rooms downstairs in
Yes.
the Rockingham residence? You tried to go in each room, is that right?
I did.
And you use your video camera in each room, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're an experienced photographer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point, you concluded and finished shooting downstairs, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And when you did that, did you go upstairs?
Yes.
All right. And when you went upstairs, again, your role was the same as when you talked to Harper and Harrow, was to try and shoot or to pick up everything that was out. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you tried to do a good job again at that, didn't you?
Yes.
All right. So did you come up those stairs up towards Mr. Simpson's bedroom?
Yes.
And then at some point, did you go inside Mr. Simpson's bedroom?
Yes.
And did you shoot the top of his bed?
It is.
Okay, well, let me ask you another way. When you got to Mr. Simpson's bedroom at some point, didn't you?
Yes.
And when you got to his bedroom, you see any socks on the floor at the foot of his bed?
No.
Overruled.
You didn't see any socks, did you?
No.
If you see any socks there, you would have shot them with the camera, wouldn't you? They were out on the floor, wouldn't you? You're taking a photograph of those, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Because that was part of your task, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now, and you shot all that bedroom, and did you go into the closets and shoot in the closets also?
Yes, if it was open.
All right, any door that was open. In fact, Mr. Ford, sir, your instructions were to shoot everything except that you were not to go inside drawers and pull them open. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Everything else that was out was what you're supposed to shoot, right?
Yes.
And you proceeded to do that. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, while you're upstairs, you shot, I presume, cameras. You went in each of the bedrooms upstairs also?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I were to now show you a copy of this video, you can tell us whether or not you shot this. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Council's aware of this, Your Honor. This is Exhibit 1068. Is the videotape. I'd like now to let me say where Mr. Harris is where we'll start. I don't want to spend the entire day going all the way through. I want to get right to the important part.
I don't want to spend 3 months on this. I just want to get to the important part, you know, only 7 weeks.
I want to save some time because we're getting close to 4 o'clock. I'm going to ask Mr. Harris to start this video at the beginning, and then we'll stop it after I lay a foundation and go upstairs. Very well? Mr. Harris, thank you. This is Your Honor for the record. Exhibit 1068. All right. Now, where this, you see that, oh, Mr. Harris, back up with this. Okay, let's back it up. Let's back it up to outside. You see that, all right, you stop it there, Mr. Harris, thank you. All right, you see where it says 6/13/94, that was the date, is that correct?
Yes.
And where it says 2:13 p.m., that should be 3:13 p.m., right?
Yes.
Now, is this the outside of the residence?
Yes.
And was this shot by you?
Yes.
And was this shot after your initial conversation with Detective Harper?
Yes.
All right, and then after you shot this, the exterior, you then went inside, right? Of the premises.
Yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Harris, why don't we then move inside?
This,
All right, yeah, I want to move to, Mr. Dart and I agreed we would move, save some time to going up the stairs. I want to get to going up the stairs. Let's start at the bottom of the stairs.
His case, he can start where he wants in the videotape. You can play whatever you want that's left.
Now, you, within a few minutes, while we're getting to that, sir, within a few minutes after your arrival at about 3:10, you then commenced shooting the video, is that correct?
yes.
And that was indicated on that by showing like 3:14 or thereabouts, right?
Yes.
I think we're ready again now, Your Honor. You have a seat for 10 seconds.
Proceed.
All right, now,
All right, this is a 307.
all right, now, is this you recognize this as being the stairway leading upstairs to Mr. Simpson's home?
Yes.
And that would be about 4:08 p.m. on June 13th, 1994?
Yes, sir.
All right. This was shot by you, is that right?
Yes.
And this is one of the bedrooms, the children's bedrooms at the location?
Yes.
All right, now you're now entering, it's about 4:13 p.m. Now entering, is this Mr. Simpson's bedroom area?
Yes.
And you took a photograph of a blanket there, and an easy chair?
Yes.
All right. You continued on in that room, and you walked into this room, did you not?
Yes.
All right. You remember seeing this couch in that room?
Yes.
Remember the fireplace in that room?
Yes.
Now stop right there. You stood right in that room, is that correct?
Yes.
And you shot toward the fireplace at that time, is that correct?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson's bed was to the right, was it not?
Yes.
About 4:13 in the afternoon, is that right?
Yes.
You walked in that room, you see that? Stop again. You took a photograph of something on top of the bed, is that correct? That was out?
Yes.
What are those? Do you remember what those were?
It looked to me like belt or ties.
Maybe suspenders or something like that?
Maybe.
All right. Well, something on top of the bed, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you shot that, did you?
Yes.
All right. Now I want to back up a little bit. Continue to shoot, did you now?
This is going forward. You said back
All
up?
right, yeah, well, we want to back it up. All right, stop it there. You see that carpet there, that rug, right in front of the bed?
Yes.
Saw that rug that particular day, did you not?
Yes.
And in fact, you walked past that rug when you went into the other room, into the bathroom area, didn't you?
Yes.
Any socks on that rug that day, Mr. Ford?
No.
You didn't videotape anything, there were none there, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
It was 4:13 p.m. about that time on June 13th, 1994 that you walked through there, right?
Yes.
There have been socks there, you would have taken photographs of them or video.
Yes.
All right, you can move it on, please. This is another shot now. You're shooting from the foot of that bed, is that correct?
Yes.
At that point, you were right on that particular, that rug or carpet there, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Foot of the bed. You didn't see any socks or anything else there, did you?
No.
Then from that point, thank you, Mr. Harris. From that point, you went on into an alcove area where there's kind of a bureau, I guess we can call it. A vanity, I think we call it.
Yes.
In Louisiana, where they call that a bureau, but I guess it's a vanity in California. All right. You saw that? And that's a
Yes.
fair and accurate portrayal? You didn't open any drawers, did you?
No, sir.
But you shot everything that was out. Now, that was Mr. Simpson's closet, right?
Yes.
Did you go inside the closet?
Yes.
You shot in there also?
Yes.
In other words, you tried to do everything that the instructions. There's additional parts of the video, is that correct?
Yes.
You shot everything?
Yes.
Because the time is late and the court would like for me to get close to wrapping this up right at 4 o'clock, I'm not going to show the rest of it.
Okay.
But if we were to show this to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it would be a fair and accurate portrayal of the way these items appeared when you were there on June 13th after 3:10 in the afternoon. Is that correct?
Yes.
You didn't take anything out and move it to photograph? You didn't do that, did you?
No.
You just shot what you saw. Is that right?
Yes.
You didn't make up anything? You didn't add anything or subtract anything, right?
No.
All right. So now, you continued this shoot you went into the closet area?
Yes.
And then did you also go into the bedroom area?
Yes.
May I have a second here? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Excuse me. So you continued on into the bathroom area, did you?
Yes.
You took photographs up there? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And then thereafter, you came out. Did you continue shooting after you came downstairs?
No.
You concluded, was that the last room that you shot?
Yes.
And so you finished your shooting somewhere right after 4:15 or so on that particular day?
I would say yes.
In that
Approximately,
time,
yes.
Is that right? 4:15? All right. Now, this might be a good point if you might.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our recess for the afternoon. Mr. Ford, you may step down. You are ordered to return, sir, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please remember all of my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves. Don't form any opinions about the case. Don't conduct any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. Also, do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regard to the case. I understand that you were advised earlier today that one of our bailiffs, one of our deputy sheriffs who has served with us, Deputy Gev Jahizian, was unfortunately shot and killed yesterday. He went to investigate a prowler at his next-door neighbor's home and was unfortunately shot and killed. And this afternoon, as we affectionately knew him, Deputy G12 and Department 103 will stand in recess this afternoon in his honor. Thank you. Present before the court with his counsel, Mr. Shapiro, Mr. Cochran, Mr. Neufeld, Mr. Blazier, people represented by Ms. Clark, Mr. Darden, Ms. Kahn. Jury is not present. Counsel, anything we need to take up before we invite the jurors to join us? Mr. Neufeld.
Thank you. Your Honor, I just received a few moments ago an order signed by you regarding the sock drying experiment, presence of blood on sock interior, discovery violations, and I think I need a little bit of clarification, Your Honor. First of all, on page 2 of your order, you referred to the glove drying experiment, and I believe
Sorry. Sock drying experiment.
Okay. What I understand, and please correct me if I'm mistaken, is you're not precluding Professor McDonald from testifying. What you're saying is that he cannot testify to the results of that experiment that he did at this time, based on the information that you have. With regard to presence of blood on sock interior, you referred to the description given by Mr. Sims in part of the testimony, but there's no reference to the other portions where he said that he saw a red-brown substance, but it's powder coming from, fibroils as opposed to a transfer stain. My question is, even without referring to the presumptive testing, the expert who is the nation's leading authority in bloodstain interpretation is entitled to give his opinion, but are you saying that at this point he can't refer to the presumptive tests? See, that's I need some clarification on
No,
you.
he can say that there's a red something over there.
Okay.
Can't refer to the tests.
Can't refer to the presumptive test until there's some kind of corroboration. Okay. Fine. And third is, I'd like to schedule him. You heard what the problem is about him leaving for Canada. Can I schedule him for early next week, which will still give them ample opportunity?
All right, because the scope of his testimony at this point is that in the interior of the sock, there appears to be a red substance, period.
And he will describe that red substance and what characteristics it has.
I assume.
Yeah. Also, as you know, you also received a copy of his July 15th report regarding the glove shrinkage experiment, which was done with the Aris gloves, the same gloves, in fact, that Mr. Darden used in an experiment in this courtroom with Mr. Simpson. So he'll be referring to that as well. And that's basically the testimony, as well as any just, generalized blood splatter interpretation. But we want to schedule him, that's all. So the delay that you are allowing the people based on the totality of these circumstances is what? Can we call them Tuesday?
I don't know. It depends on what I hear from the people.
Okay. You mean at this moment? Okay.
Ms. Clark.
Thank you, Your Honor. As we informed the court earlier, with respect to the glove drying experiment, there is a motion that will be filed, I believe, today. I would be more apologetic about the late filing of these motions were it not for the fact that we just received the reports and had no idea that Mr. McDonald was going to attempt to testify to matters contained therein. But that motion is forthcoming. With respect to the timing of his testimony, I still don't think we have an adequate offer of proof as to what the parameters of his testimony will be. His report, I believe now that counsel has said that he will testify to the appearance of what he says is a transfer on sock A, and that he will also testify to generalized blood spatter interpretation. Well, there are no reports of any findings he made on any blood spatter at the crime scene in this case or at Rockingham. And if that is going to be the subject matter of his testimony, we need to have a 402 on that. Although counsel may characterize Mr. McDonald as a leading authority in blood spatter interpretation, he, as the court and I think the jury will see, is far from the most renowned or the most revered. And I think that his conclusions will need to be reviewed by this court under 402 before being submitted to the jury. So perhaps a more definite offer of proof needs to be made before the people can determine when they will be ready.
But the question posed by Mr. Neufeld is a matter of scheduling at this point, and if you want to challenge these matters both on discovery bases and 402 bases, then we ought to set some time aside to do that. Mr. Neufeld's suggestion is perhaps Monday. How does that strike you?
Well, we have to file the motion on the glove. I think that will impact as well, Your Honor.
Well, it sounds to me like perhaps we ought to take up the 402 and 352 issues on the glove, since he'll be the person testifying to this, the discovery issues and everything else all on Monday. How does that sound?
That sounds fair.
The only question is this: if we're about to embark on EDTA witnesses, and it's possible that both witnesses and Ms. Clark may be able to assess this as well, may go over to Monday, in which case I would do it Tuesday. I'm just trying to be realistic here.
That's fine with me, Monday or Tuesday. I'm not wedded to that as long as everyone has time to get ready and get up to speed on all these issues, because they're substantial. I have heard also, Your Honor, well, I would request of counsel, there are apparently other notes that Mr. McDonald has made of his observations and experiments that we have never received. And now, I'm not worried about the sock at this point, but I am concerned that there are reports concerning other observations or conclusions that he has made, notes and reports that counsel refers to, but we've never seen to this date. And so if there are any other notes or reports concerning the subject matter of his testimony or the subject matter for which he was contacted by the defense to do experimentation or investigation, the people formally make another request that it be turned over.
All right, Mr. Neufeld, any comment on that last request?
Your Honor, I think we're well advised of what our obligations are in terms of discovery in this case, and we will certainly comply with it, and I believe we have complied with it with respect to Professor McDonald. So we're saying Tuesday then, I guess.
No, we're shooting for Monday.
We're shooting for Monday.
Shooting
Okay.
for Monday with the possibility we'll dribble over until Tuesday.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Blazier?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
We intend to call Dr. Frederick Reeder as our first EDTA witness after the witness that's currently on the stand. I heard, I think on the television last night, that the prosecution was going to make some sort of a motion to either preclude him or delay him. they haven't told me that. They've known I've been working on this issue since they arrested. I think we need to decide that now. If they're going to make some sort of a challenge to that, we'd like to know that now. We have two experts here from the East Coast.
Well, let me ask you this. At this point, Mr. Cochran, how much more do you have with Mr. Ford?
Your Honor, I would think that I don't have very much to Mr. Ford, Your Honor, perhaps more than 15 to 20 minutes, Mr. Ford.
All right, Ms. Clark, how much do you have on Mr. Ford? All right. Ms. Clark, what's the prosecution's position on, is it Dr. Reeders?
Yes.
Yeah, I just received notice of this change in developments late last night, and I'm really outraged at the manner in which this defense has proceeded. It's a trial by ambush, according to the defense, and let me just indicate to the court procedurally what has transpired that leads me to this position. Dr. Reeders, we were informed, would testify at some point, but it was at the end of a series of witnesses who have now been skipped over by counsel. Dr. Reeders was added to the witness list, as best I can tell, formally on July 17th. That is
Excuse me. They told you they were going to call him. You don't get to pick and choose who they call. If they don't call a witness, that's up to them. You have no opinion on that. You don't get to have an opinion on what they do with their case.
That is this Monday. That is the same day we received his report. Now, the court, perhaps, I don't know if the court has seen the report. I don't think that it has.
No.
It's a two-page report, and yet the conclusions are very complex. They're very serious. If Dr. Reeders truly intends to testify to the positions he's adopted in that report, the cross-examination will have to be extensive, and the preparation time needs to be a little more than 2 days before he's called. And the defense deliberately put him on the witness list. Let me indicate to the court, as of July 15th, he wasn't even on the scheduled list of witnesses. As of July 18th, which is Tuesday, he was scheduled to testify after 7 other witnesses that have now been jumped over. The defense is deliberately attempting to force us into a position where we are unprepared to effectively cross-examine this witness. The people are requesting of the court, this witness has had the reports of Agent Martz, which is what he did. He didn't do any testing himself. He reviewed the reports of the testing conducted by Agent Martz and then issued a report of his opinion of those results. And those opinions are highly questionable and require vigorous cross-examination, because what the attempt is here is to mislead and confuse the jury to such a degree that they will oversimplify and falsify the true nature of the findings by Agent Martz. This witness did not do the testing to which he plans to testify. In fact, he cannot do that testing and never has. Yet he purports to be able to interpret the results in a manner that will be highly inflammatory, also highly misleading. If he is called to testify first from a substantive point of view for the benefit of the jury, Your Honor, the jury will be completely misled and confused. At which point, if Agent Martz is ever, the defense cannot completely refuse to call Agent Martz because they have no foundation for the testimony of Dr. Reeders at all. But if they delay in the calling of Agent Martz, the issue will become so confusing and so misleading to the jury that he may never be able to sort it out so they understand what really transpired and what the test results really mean. So I have like a twofold objection. One, for the benefit of the jury in terms of their understanding of the testimony. Two, for the benefit of the jury in terms of our ability to effectively confront and cross-examine the witness, which we have been deprived of the opportunity of doing by a doctor who has refrained from writing a report until a day or two before he takes the witness stand, based on reports he received at the end of February. I cannot think of a reason why a doctor would review reports that are not that voluminous, 30, 40 pages, at the end of February, I'm sure drew conclusions at least by the end of March, and not write a report until 3 to 4 months later. I think it is scandalous what has occurred here. I think it is a very deliberate attempt to try this case by ambush and to prevent the people from adequately meeting his testimony.
What remedy are you seeking, Ms. Clark?
Initially, the people seek preclusion of his testimony completely. And we object on the grounds for the discovery violation and the obvious subterfuge involved in turning over a report that had to have been ready to prepare months ago, 2 days before they intend to call him. Additionally, I remind the court of the context in which this appears, and that is that his name is added to the witness list only on Monday and deliberately put down below a bunch of others.
Which witness list are we talking about?
The defense called us at 7:45 p.m. on July 18th to tell us that Dr. Reeders would testify after the following witnesses.
All right, Ms. Clark, let me clarify my question. Dr. Reeders is a name, the name Dr. Reeders has been mentioned a number of times throughout this trial during the blood testimony. So when was Dr. Reeders placed on the master defense witness list?
Thank you. In March.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let me take that back. Dr. Reeders was on the main list in October, and he was added again in March. So, yes, it's a name that is known to us, but a name without a report. is virtually worthless. How do we know what he's going to address? In fact, I will tell the court this. It's very misleading because due to the fact that I know he does not perform and cannot perform effectively the kind of testing involved in EDTA detection, we were of the opinion that he would testify. We didn't know what he would testify to, but we certainly could not anticipate it would be EDTA, since he's not an expert as far as the operation of the conducting of the testing in that particular area. Yeah, and then.
So I should expect an initial competency challenge.
Oh yes, oh yes. There's going to be substantial 402s that have to be conducted prior to his testimony. I was in the process of trying to prepare paperwork to that effect, and believing that I had 10 witnesses to go before him, thought that there would be the opportunity to do so. I should also indicate to the court that from a substantive point of view, as Ms. Kahn points out, Agent Martz is necessary to lay the foundation for Dr. Readers. This is not a situation like Dr. Lakshmanan and Dr. Golden, because the test performed by Agent Martz, Dr. Readers cannot perform. I believe never has performed. So
Well,
we
that's
have.
an interesting issue in and of itself, but let's get to the issue of how much, let's assume, let me ask you this, how much time do you need to effectively prepare to
7 months.
cross-examine Dr. Readers?
Given the fact that I'm required to be in court every day on the other witnesses, and I have other witnesses that I'm scheduled to cross-examine,
Are you going to be cross-examining Dr. Readers?
probably.
Not Mr. Harmon or Mr. Clark?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
No.
Or Mr. Kelberg?
Or Mr. Kelberg.
All right.
I'm wearing out my welcome with Mr. Kelberg. I gotta save him up. But, and I might indicate too that Dr. Maltz has disappeared from the list, so I don't know, I need to know from counsel when he's going to appear. But that's another matter.
Okay.
I would ask leave of the court for 2 weeks, or the end of the defense case, whenever that is.
All right. Mr. Blazier?
No, no,
This is
Mr.
a
Blazier,
rather
tomorrow.
blatant and outrageous.
Don't you blatant outrageous nobody. You sit down. We're done with you for today. I gotta get to work. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Got really good at the end. I can't wait to hear what Mr. Blazier has to say tomorrow. I'm not gonna sneak a peek ahead though. I'm not. But if you guys ever wanted to, the link is in every description. The link to this playlist. So, I'm gonna get to work. I shall see you all again tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.